Good morning, guys. And it's our day 5 here in Cancun. And this is the Cancun Passion. This is gonna be the bus that we're.
Mr.
Gomez, yes.
Who's that?
I'm good.
Voucher? That's the one. Kilo Kilo. Gomez Francis Ray or Reyes?
Ray.
Ray. Listo. Okay, this is for me. Chichen Deluxe Canadiense. Are you from Canada?
Yeah.
Okay, listo. Welcome.
Thank
The
you.
boss.
Thank you. Thank you. There you go, guys. We're bound for Chichen Itza. Hey, can we sit here? On board. So the bus is very nice. Look at him. This bus has washroom on board, so if you wanna use the washroom, you don't have to, ask the driver to stop. So yeah, this is it. So we're probably gonna pick up some book, and then we're gonna be off there. I think I heard it's gonna be 2 to 3 hours travel, so it's gonna be a little bit far. So we'll see you in Chichen Itza.
Yes, from everybody of you, if you need to go to toilet, you use it. The place we go in a minute has the name of a Piste, which is the name of the village. This is the base village for Chichen Itza. There we will be for 40 minutes. Piste, Mayan language translated today like the guards of the ruins. Este pueblo que vamos a ver en un momento se llama Piste, que era en sí el primer Chichen Itza, la parte vieja de Chichen. Ahora es el pueblo Piste, que significa el guardia de las ruinas, es el pueblo base. So Piste, ça c'est le village que nous allons arriver dans quelques minutes, était la vieille partie de Chichen Itza. Originalement on appelait Chuchul Chichen. Aujourd'hui s'appelle mandatory system is finished. Kindergarten, elementary school, and the middle school, so the 3 periods are for mandatory education. L'éducation obligatoire. Les écoliers toujours habillés pareil, so the students always dress the same way. Estudiantes vestidos a la misma usanza. You don't know who is rich or who is poor. De esa façon, vous ne savez pas ce qui est riche et qui est pobre. No, así no se sabe, ricos o pobres, todos vestidos al mismo uniforme. Casas de la vieja costumbre, houses from the old custom. Il y a des maisons de la vieille habitude, la toiture de paille. You see the thatch roof, techos de palma. Naturalmente, casas modernas, cemento y concreto. Modern houses, cement and concrete. De maisons modernes de construir en betón. Ahora bien, nota esto. No hay vacas, no hay burros, no hay caballos. La gente se mueve en bicicleta o motocicleta. No horses, no cows, no donkeys. Everybody you see as a means of transportation the bicycles and motorcycles. Nous n'avons pas les vaches, nous n'avons pas les moutons, nous n'avons pas les chevaux, nous n'avons pas, par exemple, les mulets. So ici, la moyen de transportation, c'est toujours le vélo o les motocyclettes. Como esto es muy caliente, todo el mundo duerme en hamaca. This is very hot, everybody sleeps on a hammock. La température toujours très chaude, tout le monde dorme sur les hamacs. So we get adults, we get reproduced on a hammock. Ahí los ves, they are inside the classrooms. Vous les regardez, les petits. Éducation obligatoire. This is mandatory education. Educación obligatoria. The police of Yucatan, you see, have no monument. Vous regardez l'église jamais les gens arrivent parce que c'est déjà un monument construit par les franciscains. Look at that church. Regardez l'église. Esto es el Zócalo, la plaza, esa es la plaza principal de Main Plaza, el Zócalo. And we have what you call in English medical dispensary, doctor, medicine, and also you have doctor, medicine absolutely free of charge. Les médicaments, la maison de la santé, et les médecins gratuits à droite. Doctor, medicina comunitaria, casa de salud gratis. Look to the right. This is medical system, free of charge, gratuito, absolutamente gratis. Aquí tenemos la estación de autobús, this is the bus station, la estación de autocar, pour aller a Cancun, to go from here to Cancun. 4 hours driving time, 4 heures de voyage, 4 horas de viaje. They go through the national road. We took the toll road. Bien. Please, next place. This is a place where we are going to stop for 40 minutes. I suggest getting inside of the bazaar. You take a walk all the way to the end. You go to the toilet. I suggest you go to the toilet because Chichen Itza very many people. Very many people standing in line to go to toilet. Go here. Number 1, number 2, number 4, number 5, my friend. Ale a la toaleta. Vaya al baño. Entrando al lado izquierdo.
Behave. Feeling like my whole look went to the show. You know what? I'll put it inside. Thanks, Eddie. We're now here in Chichen Itza. I think this is the entrance. This is our tour guide. Thank you.
The Mayas, the Spaniards came here for the first time in the 1500s. When they got here, all of what you get to see here was crumbled and covered by the vegetation. They got information out of natives. The information got lost. No one knew the existence of the Mayas 300 years until 1839. A couple of scholars who were John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood made it here. Look at the way how the temple looks right now, the main pyramid, and look at the way how they found it in 1839, like this. Studying all of this, they're able to develop 2 books, one book in 1841 and one 1843. The books were sold, all around the world. Scholars right here, and you can see the way, Chichen Itza looks right now. Scholars from all around the world made it here. How much can we see at Chichen Itza? 10%. And this 10% is restored about 60%. Temples are not completely restored. Actually, this is west, north side is facing towards that way. 2 facades were restored, there are 2 ones that are not restored. You were here 20 years ago, the temple was exactly the same way you saw it 20 years ago. People wonder, what's the problem for restoring the buildings here? Money, time? No, the biggest problem here, in English you call it red tape. Where does this happen? Everywhere in the world. Right now, our advantage is 7 years ago we got people working at Chichen Itza. Where are they working at right now? They're working 5 miles away from here. Just about 3 years ago, they found a water reservoir with fragments of skeletons, ceramics, and pottery. This is right now the museum in Mexico City. You are from the U.S., right, sir? Right. You work in Chichen Itza, you find a burial ground. Every artifact you find right here has to be stayed in Mexico. It doesn't go to the U.S. See what I mean? That's the way it should be everywhere in the world. Okay? History here, not really old. How old is Chichen Itza? Oldest date official in this place, 435 AD. Okay, during that time, there's a group of people living in our neighbor state, water, agriculture, the best place for astronomical studies. They moved down here. Mayas from that place moved down here. 200 years in this place, building south and central part of Chichen Itza. Then one group abandoned this place, moved back to their neighbor state, 300 years, and then they came back. In general, they came back from 900 to 1000 AD. It is, though, during this time frame, when Maya people in this region had some influence from a completely different culture. What's the name of a culture? Toltecas. Have you heard this name before? Aztecs, Mexico City, next to the Aztecs, the Toltecs. How come this influence? They were located 2,000 kilometers away from here. We have scholars mentioning commerce. That's about no ideas. Architecture, religion, art, philosophy, etc. Now there's a theory causing controversy, except in archaeology. Let's say all of us right now we're Toltecs. We're in the central part of Mexico. We're having a civil war. Okay? We have two groups fighting for people in exile, so you made it here. My point is, from 900 to 1000, there's a fusion of two cultures at Chichen Itza, Mayas and Toltecs. And built, although what you get to see from here. It is not pure Mayan, it's Mayan and Toltec architecture style. Tomorrow we all go to Guatemala. It's a type of Guatemala, higher steeper, lots of decoration. It's pretty plain. Some buildings have some decoration related to social problems, civil wars, and human sacrifices. That's something I like to talk about. There's a movie, Apocalypto. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes.
In the movie, Mel Gibson shows this pyramid, and every 5 seconds there's a human head falling down. And thousands of people, yeah! That's Hollywood. I just like to mention. According to archaeologists, 2 people were offered to the gods in sacrifices a year in the famous ball field. 2 people a year in the famous well located just 50 feet away, 1,000 feet away from here, and one in a temple behind this one once every 52 years. We got families right here, right? What's your name, man? Tanisha, let's say we're going to sacrifice Tanisha today. No. There you go. I told you so. What's happening, my friend? You gotta make points. Okay? If at the moment I approach her, she's gonna sacrifice me. Probably. Okay? What's my... I'm getting him in trouble. What's my point? That's a normal human behavior, protection. 1,000 years ago, look at the way it was. You were born according to the calendars. You're the chosen one. It's a privilege. I want to say something I'm not supposed to, but it's happening. People still die for religion no matter where you go all around the world. Mayas, their philosophy was this one here. If I die, my soul should cross a certain levels in the upper world, then levels in the netherworld, passing to an afterlife. To die for me was a step on the cycle of my life. They were not afraid of. Have you realized no matter what store you go in Mexico, you go into, you find skeletons, skulls, etc. We're not afraid of them. For us, to die is part of a cycle in our lives. When the Toltecs made it here, they brought with them, your Mayas or Toltecs, you bring new ideas about different gods. Okay, in this case, Mayas, until now, they still practice a polytheist religion. They worship natural forces. When the Toltecs made it here, they brought with them the idea of a supreme god named Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl means feathered serpent. How do we call that in Maya? Kukulkan. That means feathered serpent. The temple in the front is the pyramid of Kukulkan, honoring this god. That's the name. Questions?
No.
Why is this temple actually considered to be one of the most important temples in the world? Because of its symmetry. But the temple in the front, it's a perfect solar calendar. 90 feet in height, 165 feet in the base. Mexico City, some buildings are twice as big. You go to Egypt, some temples are 3 times, 4, 5 times as big. This temple in front, 4 facades. Every one of them with a staircase. And every one of the staircases had 91 steps. It's 4 staircases. Every facade has 1, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like a bird. We've got people mentioning it's a sacred bird that might used to worship during that time called the Quetzal. This is the bird. A sacred bird, original from Guatemala. It's a mythological bird for us. We still worship it. Okay? we got people mentioning energy, like metaphysical people. They say energy. It's really full of energy. Yes. This one here, though, it's not a complete pyramid. You know what they say? Point it, my Lord. Imagine the king and the queen standing on top of the building. 60,000 people standing down here. If the king or the queen standing on top speak, people 100, 150 feet away from here could listen to you with no problems all around the city. You know, this can be tried in front of the west and the north facade. There are two ones that are not completely restored, so we cannot try. So they manage distance and calculation. I am really, how to say in English, skeptical, is that what you say? About 4 or 5 years ago, I don't forget because I was in Canada. They called me up and they said, "Are you Eduardo?" Yes, sir. And they give us your phone number so we can contact you so you can take care of the group if you don't mind. So we check schedules and everything. It's Mexico City, 5 days. Okay, we checked it and everything, and I said to this gentleman, "Sir, where can we meet? Because I need to know the schedule perfectly well and everything. Can you mail me or something?" He said, "We'll meet you in Mexico City, so we can tell you the whole schedule." I got to Mexico City, talked to the manager, and he said to me, "We just need one favor from you. No matter where you go in Mexico, you wear long pants, long sleeve shirt, and tie." Sir, I said, "I work with Freemasons. I know I don't wear that with Freemasons. I'm not going to wear that for you." Yeah, he said, no, please. He's that they're going to film the whole thing, and it's for publicity. The owner of the company is going to take a tour. And I said, "How much are you going to pay?" I was wearing it. What can I say? It was around week. But you know, it's interesting because he said, "Be careful with your information." So I thought the word, we were visiting different places. We got to Chichen Itza, and when I finished the tour here, I said, "3 times, so walk around, I'll see you back in the bus." And he said, "Eduardo, before you go back to the bus, we need you to stay with us because we need to climb to the top of all of the buildings for 2 hours." Sir, honestly, I don't want to be disrespectful, but I don't know who you are. But to climb to the top of the permit, I don't know. Okay, do you have it? I said, "He's in charge of logistics." And there's a guy who said, "I got to take this." I called the guards, they checked the papers, and they opened every door. Why am I saying? I finished the tour and I said, "Sir, how come you got permits?" And he said, "Well, we're engineers. We're for, actually a master. And we've been in Egypt, Stonehenge, Machu Picchu. Right now it's Chichen Itza." And I said, "What do you work for?" "McDonnell Douglas." Okay, my legs started shaking. I said, "Sorry for my information." No, he said, "There's one thing we'd like to say." All their civilizations around the world, and we try the same resonance. So we believe the culture, even though for the Mayas, we're understanding the concept of vibe to develop things like this. You know what I mean? My point is, I really would like to say to all of you, this is the most advanced country in the world. We can't. This culture is advanced. These are older civilizations around the world. All the civilizations around the world, okay, you get to find out that they were really advanced studying the stars, dedicating time to be able to study the stars and build things like this. One more point, we can have 3 times per pictures. Today you take a satellite picture of Chichen Itza and we make a map where you mark temples restored and restored. We're bringing a map for constellations. You overlap and then match your position. Nobility, for nobility, there's a microcosmos and there's the axis mundi. I'm a commoner. I see only temples because I am not educated. Not everyone is educated. Why do we educate everybody? Because we for more people, we lose power. Knowledge is power, no matter what time it is.
Yeah.
Take a picture. I'll see you here in a few minutes. Sorry, water. I'm ready.
Be mag-picture ta.